met her down in Baton Rouge, where the highway splits in two. She stood beneath a broken sign like she didn't know what to do. Her boots were worn, her coat was thin, her eyes looked past the night. She said, "If you're heading anywhere, I don't care if it's not right." Said her name was Maribel, said she was just passing through, but her hand shook when she lit her smoke like she had nothing left to lose. And I don't know why I stopped that night or why I even cared, but she looked like a story that nobody else would share. We drove through empty city lights where the world feels half asleep. She never asked me where I was from, just stared into the heat. Said I married a man of promise, but promise don't hold long. He built a life with pretty words, then left before they're gone. I didn't ask for details, some truths don't need a name, but I could feel the weight she carried wasn't something time could change. So I kept the engine running like I was out running rain, and told myself I was different from whatever made her break. And the road keeps rolling under tired wheels where nothing ever stays the same. Some people run from what they feel, some people run from their name. And I thought I was just passing through her life like wind across a stone, but every mile I drove with her felt heavier than my own. We crossed into Amarillo, where the wind cuts through your coat. She said, "This looks like the kind of place where people learn to let things go." Then a black truck pulled behind us at a motel off Route 9, and a man stepped out in silence like he'd done this many times. He didn't raise his voice at all, just stood there in the rain, like he wasn't there to argue, just to gather back a name. She went still like frozen paper, like the world had lost its sound. And I stood there between them both, not knowing what I'd found. He said, "You think you saved a stranger from a life she couldn't stand, but every scar she ever carried was from choices she understands." Then he looked at me like judgment, not anger, not regret, just the kind of quiet knowing you don't recover from yet. And the road keeps rolling under tired wheels where I don't chase what's called and rescue. Some people aren't meant to be saved, some roads just carry on. And I thought I was just passing through her life like wind that fades to snow, but every mile I drove with her was a truth I didn't know. She didn't cry, she didn't speak, just watched the motel floor, like she was standing in a memory she had lived through once before. And I finally understood that night I wasn't part of her escape. I was just a line between two lives that already knew their shape. So I handed back the keys I held and stepped out into the rain. Some things don't need to be fought for, some things already contained. Now I think about that highway and the silence in her eyes. How easy it is to call it rescue when you're blind to all the lies. And I wonder if she ever laughs or if she ever says my name, or if I was just a moment she never needed to explain. And the road keeps rolling under tired wheels, but I don't chase what's gone. Some people aren't meant to be safe, some roads just carry on. And I thought I was just passing through her life like wind that fades to snow. But every mile I drove with her was a truth I didn't know. And the last thing I remember clearly was him thanking me for taking her home.